How are you enjoying today's festivities?
It's been a great day, actually. A lot of fun.
Did you go through the obstacle course? It looks like you're a little muddy.
Yeah, I certainly did.
Oh, tell me more about the Jeep Club. That's really cool.
We're a new club. We just started about 4 months ago. We got about 17 members, and we just, we do local rides and stuff like that. We do a lot of charity events. We do a lot of field cleaning. We go to the places where people ride, and we pick up trash and stuff like that, because nobody else does it. You know what I mean?
That's really awesome. That's really cool. Is there a website people can go to for your club?
They can. It's RWORI.com.
So what's the secret for not getting stuck? Because I've seen a lot of vehicles get stuck out there today.
Just pedal to the floor.
Pedal to the metal. And one other thing I have to ask in closing, how is the ice cream?
The ice cream is awesome.
Does it rock?
It rocks. Strawberry, sundae, all the way.
Nice. I saw the raspberry Oreo. I might be partaking of that a little bit later. Well, thanks, Glenn, very much. Enjoy the day, and thanks for chatting with us. And awesome Jeep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Jason, is there anything you'd like to know underneath the hood here?
Well, I know when I look at the hood, I'm pretty overwhelmed at what I'm looking at. What other things would be done that you can do for preventive maintenance?
Well, what we do here, and you can take it to your, your mechanic, is when they do an oil change on there, you're going to want to check all the fluids on there. Take a peek at the belt. Take a peek at the hoses on it. You're not under the hood yourself, so you're not going to know. Also, too, when they bring it in, checking the lights, checking the wipers on there. They're not trying to upsell to actually get money from you. They're trying to make you safe on the road. And that's the main thing that we want, is that you're safe on the road right now. So as you do the oil change, you have your brake fluid. You have your power steering fluid. Everything's available right there. Easy to do while you're doing a oil change.
Now, Sean, you mentioned the belt. How often do I need to check the belt to change it, or would you need to do that? And what is the importance of doing it? What could happen?
Well, the belt itself, it's checked usually, every time you do an oil change on there. The way they have them nowadays, in the old day, you had a power steering belt, you had an alternator belt, you had all different belts on there. Now what they call is a serpentine belt. It's one belt, runs everything. And what happens, you get little cracks inside that belt. And if this belt ends up going on you, everything stops. It's not like the old days where if the power steering belt broke on you, you just would lose that. So you would actually lose everything on this thing, so it'd be hard to steer. So that's one of the main reasons why we want to check that belt on there. Make sure it's not going to crack and leave you stranded on the side of the road.
Another thing, Sean, is the engine oil. Does it really have to be changed every 3,000 or 5,000 miles? Or what's the intervals on that?
Well, it makes a difference where you drive. If you're driving in the city, you're going to want to change it more often because you're doing a lot more idling, stop and go traffic, and that's what really breaks down the viscosity of the oil itself. If you're doing highway miles on there, say you're a salesman, for instance, you're doing 3,000 miles a week. Of course, you don't want to get it in there that often. So, you can go 7,000 to 10,000 miles in between that area, as long as you're not doing, heavy-duty driving itself. Oils nowadays last a lot longer on there, and there's a lot of people that use what they call a synthetic oil. A synthetic oil will last you a lot longer in the car. This is for more people that, do a lot of miles in a short period of time, or if you have a hard time getting into your mechanic. That's one thing, too, is putting a synthetic in there. It is a better oil. It lasts longer. Costs you twice as much as a regular oil change, but in the long run, where you can go a little bit longer with the oil, it costs you the same.
RSV for a set like that for the four-door Wranglers.
So what brings you here today?
We live only a mile up the street, and we could hear the commotion, and someone said, hey, there's a Jeep show. And we said, well, let's bring our little toy Jeep and drive around, see what's happening.
Oh, it's perfect. But it's so great that they're doing a Jeep show, like, locally.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. They have a lot of different vendors here, and food and music.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, quite the thing, and perfect weather for it, too. It's not too hot.
Definitely, yeah.
Otherwise, we'd die. Well, I'm glad you had a great time today.
Thank you so much.
And it was fun watching your daughter putt around in her Jeep. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Sean, what's another maintenance tip I can do to my vehicle to ensure a longer life?
A very important one is your transmission. Transmission itself is a very expensive thing to replace. You don't want to replace a transmission unless you really have to. Transmissions nowadays, they range anywhere from $1,700 to $3,500 to replace a transmission in it. What we're going to do today, we're going to show you what you need to do, is we have a transmission flush machine here. What this does, it takes out all the transmission fluid. It's not like the old days where you only get part of it. This will take it out of the torque converter. It will take it out of everything. What we end up doing is we put a chemical in your transmission. We run it for probably about a half an hour or so. Drive it on the road, make sure it breaks all down the sludge and everything in the tranny. We hook this machine up to it, and it actually flushes the whole transmission out. Gets everything out, makes the fluid nice and pink again. Yeah, and what we'll do is just get all the contaminants out of the transmission itself. Now, like I said, you don't want to replace the transmission unless you really have to, because they are very expensive. So you probably want to do this it makes a difference how hard you drive the vehicle. If you are towing, you might want to do it every year. On the average, every 3 years, 30,000 miles, you want to flush a transmission out, will definitely save you a lot of money in the long run. So that's one of the main things you want to do, is a transmission flush on there. Save you big, big money doing that. And on the average, a transmission flush makes a difference where you go, how many quarts it takes in it, what kind of fluid it takes. Like a Honda will take special fluid. Not everybody takes the old, Mercuron or Dextron like in the old days. Now there's all different transmission fluids. It will probably run you anywhere from $110 to $150 to flush out the transmission properly.
Well, Sean, now does it matter if I have an automatic or a manual transmission?
Well, you don't have to flush a manual like you do with an automatic. Manual transmission, you want to look inside there and make sure that the gear oil, that's what's in it instead of transmission fluid, is not broken down. But it does need to be changed also, just not as often. On this particular transmission itself, where you do yourself is at home, there's no dipstick. There is no way to check this transmission at all. Actually, you can put it up in the air, and there is a little pinhole that you can pull the plug out of it and check it that way. But it's not like the old days where you can just pull the dipstick out, check it, and no, those days are over. Now we're into a different area of time.
Well, that sounds great, Sean. Very informative.
Well, hi, I'm Sue. I'm here with AutoVision, and we're enjoying the Go Topless Day here in Lancaster. And what's your name?
Jesse, how you doing?
Great. How are you, Jesse?
Not bad.
Shannon. Shannon. Hey, how's it going? Good, thanks. So tell me, how did you get this Jeep so muddy? It looks really cool. I don't know if we can get a shot of it, but...
It's not dirty yet, but...
That's not dirty?
No, that's not dirty.
Gosh, no.
That's just pulling people out of the mud.
Oh, you pulled everybody else out of the mud on the obstacle course today?
That's my job.
That's your... Oh, okay. So you got the big wheels? Is that what helps you do it, or how
I
did you
think
get it
so.
out?
Lockers, front and rear lockers, tire size, yeah.
Okay. And how did you find out about the Go Topless event?
We're our local Jeep club, John Fund, is one of the sponsors for the event, and we come out and try to get as many people to come out.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, great. You guys enjoy your time. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks.
Have fun. Take care.